Good.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, y'all can see me and hear me this morning. I want to welcome you to this awesome Saturday we have going on at this property tour. Hopefully, you can see the flyer. And just to make sure that you can hear me and see me, at least you can hear me, put in the chat where you're from. I want it so that way you can exercise your chat. So there's questions today, you get to put it in the chat and we get the answer for you today. And at the same time, we're going to ask everybody to stay muted so that way we can hear from our investor today. He's taking time out of his day to share with us. And oh my goodness, we got a good one for you. And for some of y'all who's been around, you have may seen him before. Well, guess what? He's back, and I just really appreciate that. So this is live meeting. When I'm talking about live, it's live. So bear with us. Sometimes comms may, communication signals may go in and out, but stay with us. This is live, and we're going to have a really good time. So hey, thank you. So we got New York showing up today. We got Broward County showing up, or Brown County showing up. Washington, D.C. is here. Waldorf, Maryland showing up. Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky is here. Hey, Virginia Beach is showing up today. Hey, that's right. North Carolina's in the house. Hey, that's where I'm at today. Hey, New Jersey showing up. You know what? Whenever we have New York, New Jersey shows up too. It must be a rivalry going on. Hey, Atlanta's in the house today. Another New Jersey. All the way out to Seattle, Washington. That's what I'm talking, representing the West Coast today. Hey, Florida, Gainesville, Florida. Hey, I like that place. It's probably a lot warmer than where I am right now. Hey, Detroit said, don't forget about me. So that's really awesome. Hey, Woodbridge, Virginia, showing up. How you doing? Hey, Miami, Florida. Woo, that's probably warm down there too. You see, I got my hoodie on. It's kind of cool, but still love my North Carolina folks. Hey, awesome. So thank you for y'all putting where you're from in the chat. This is really awesome. We're going to have a really powerful impact property tour today. And if it wasn't for my friend Scott Buckles, oh my goodness, we wouldn't even have this event where we actually get to feature an investor who's in action today. So people say, well, I'm wondering about real estate investing. Should I do it? Who's doing it? Well, that's just what we're doing it. And so, Scott, I just want to say thank you for putting this together. And we got folks from all over the United States, quite a few I'm starting to see pop up from Florida, and then we have some folks from Delaware too, and from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I just want to say thank you for putting this together. This is awesome that we be able to get to do this. And I know you do a lot of traveling and you are coordinating with different, real estate investors, and you're a real estate investor yourself. So I just want to say thank you for doing this. And this is really awesome. So I want to turn it over to you, my friend, because I know you like to, welcome our featured investor today. So that way I can get my pen and paper together to take some really nuggets today as more people start to come in from like Charlotte, North Carolina, and from Delaware. And so this is really awesome. So I want to turn it
Well,
to you, my friend.
Keith, I'm right there with you. I got my notepad and pen here too because I know how good Julian is as an investor, and he loves to share and give back. So I'm ready to take some great notes as well. So, well, good morning, everybody. This is just going to be a fantastic property tour. We're so excited that you guys have joined us today. We love doing these every Saturday morning as we're a national community of investors, and we love to go around the country and share from different community members on what they're doing. We love to hear the story, how they got into real estate investing, why they wanted to be a part of our community, like Keith and I and so many others around this country. And we got the big national conference coming up. Keith, we want to make sure we mention that to everybody on. If you haven't booked your ticket yet, you can still get in. It's in Salt Lake City. What is that? March 20th through the 22nd.
Yes.
It's going to be. I've been to 10. This will be number 10 for me, national conferences, and this is by far what I've seen, the agenda and the subject matters and the trainers. This is going to be lights out, the best one so far. So really geared toward real estate and that type of thing. So it's going to be very exciting. But hey, it's February 22nd, Keith. We're almost through the month of February already. It's just amazing how fast this year has flown by. Um, and like you have your hoodie on. I've got my flannel shirt on. It's nice and chilly here in Northern Kentucky in the Cincinnati market. So I've got my flannel on. Last week I had shorts and a t-shirt on. So I was a little bit different part of the world last week. And I know, Julie, we were just talking about you're traveling down to Argentine here in about a month or less. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it down there. But without further ado, let's bring out Julian Franco. Julian, can you jump on?
Course, can you see me and hear me?
Absolutely, Julian. We are so excited that you've taken time out to join and share and give back and talk about what you're doing, kind of your journey through real estate, because we say this every Saturday, but everyone's story is unique and different, and how we get to where we are in life, it differs from each one of us. And so I know you have a lot to share on your journey and where you are today in real estate investing. But so kind of kick people off, let everybody know about, kind of what you were doing before, how long you've been in real estate, and kind of why. What was the key thing? Did you read a book? Did you go to a weekend event? Did you go to a property tour? What was it that got you in real estate investing? And then the biggest thing that I always like to talk about, at least share with people, is why they decided to become part of our community. And what was it that's like, hey, this is a group of people I want to associate with. So take it over, Julian.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Scott and Keith, for having me, and being here to share a little bit of my story, and hopefully that inspires some of you guys to take action with this information. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Julian Franco. I'm from Colombia. I got here in 1999. I'm a civil engineer in my country, but when I came here, I started looking for an opportunity to get involved in that area. But I didn't, speak English very well. I didn't have legal documents at the time. I didn't have the connections. So I had to find something quick to start making money. So I started washing dishes for a living during the day, waiting tables in the afternoon in a Cuban restaurant. And I was taking 9 classes in a college to learn the language. So I did that for many years. I did that for close to 9 years. I was working around 70, 75 hours a week, barely covering my bills. As a matter of fact, I already was behind on most of them. I was living out of credit cards. It got to a point that I was on a $45,000 credit card debt. My credit score was around 513 at the time, and no savings, nothing. And I remember one day, my dad, he had a heart condition, and he called me. He was actually living in Utah, by the way. He was living in Salt Lake City at the time. And he called me once and said that he needed some help to get his medicine for his heart. And I couldn't even provide for that. So I think that was the moment that I made the decision to do something better, to do something different. I knew a part-time was not an option. I was working already all the hours in the week, so I didn't have time for a part-time. So I started looking for an opportunity to get involved in real estate. My family, they had a construction company back in Colombia, and they did very well developing land. That's pretty much one of the reasons we had to leave Colombia, because of the guerrillas and kidnappings and a bunch of stuff. This is a different story. But I saw an opportunity there, but I didn't want to be a real estate agent. So I didn't want to drive around with people and open houses and all that stuff. That was not me. So I remember back in 2006, I saw an infomercial around like 3 a.m. in the morning, Cartoon Chits. I don't know if you guys remember that guy. No money down deals and all that stuff. And the whole concept got my attention. I was like, wow, this is interesting. I actually ended up buying the cheapest package. I didn't even have the money to buy the whole thing. I got by the cheapest package. A week after, I get a box with a bunch of pamphlets and things like that, and I started reading, and I said that this is definitely what I wanted to do. I didn't want to pay further for having just a 1-800 number. I was looking for more like a local people that are willing to help me. And one day I was reading over the newspaper. That was back in 2006. I was reading the newspaper and I saw a sign that says 3-2 investment property for sale, no money needed, and the phone number. And I said, wow, this is awesome. I don't have any money and I'm looking for an investment property. So let me give him a call. So I called the guy and I told him, listen, I'm very interested in the sign, but I just want to be upfront with you. I don't have any money. I don't have, my credit is not in a good shape. So he said, don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the house. So he took me to Riviera Beach. Riviera Beach is about an hour and so from here, from Fort Lauderdale. It was a 3-2 house, had a Section 8 tenant in place. The Section 8 tenant was paying $1,100 a month. And the property was in good conditions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Section 8, but they have to pass inspections every year. So it was livable. It was nice. So the guy said, listen, I can structure a deal in a way that I can get you the house. And as a matter of fact, that's what happened. I actually went to the closing table. And not only I didn't get the house with any of my money, but I walked out of the title company with $30,000. And he said, okay, so you're going to have to, there's a balance that you pay every month. The tenant is only paying $1,100, but the mortgage or the note at the time was $1,400. So you have to pay $300 every month out of pocket. Just hold the property for a year or so, sell it and make a profit. At the time, back in 06, 07, everything was appreciated. So, I mean, the appreciation game was a go-to. Everybody was looking for that. But I don't know if you guys remember what happened in 2008 with the real estate market. So I lost my tenant, I lost the income, I still have a note. So I actually had to stop making the mortgage payments. At the time, I was still looking for an opportunity to do real estate, and I came across to this group. And I went to a meeting and they pretty much were like, they were talking to me. You see, when you go to a place and they were telling you everything that you needed to hear at the time, and everything was for me at the time. I didn't even care that I was full of other people. I was like, okay, this is for me. I didn't have any capital, anything to move forward, but I made the decision right there and there that I was going to move forward with the group. And that was the first time I actually heard a word called short sales. Short sales is a strategy that allows you to negotiate with banks a discount on the property owner's loans. And back in the day, 2007, 2008, when everything was going crazy, a lot of people was upside down. So they owe more to the bank than what the market value of the property was. And I was one of them. And I said, wow, this is a solution for not only my problem, but a bunch of people that I know. And so I said, you know what, let's get educated on this strategy. And I started taking it very seriously. And I was at the time still working, but I was doing it part-time and real estate part-time. I was working with my partner, Antonio Lowe. He was doing the streets, I was doing the phones. And it took me a good about 8 months or so to close my first transaction. But that was an eye-opener for me, because I was calling on Tuesdays for an hour. I was calling on Friday for an hour just to follow up with the bank about our offer. And it took us about 2.5 months to get a short sale approval. And at the same time, we were marketing the property, and we got an end buyer that we were going to sell the property to. And that's what we did. We got the property closed on 11 a.m. We turned around 1 p.m. We sold it to an end buyer without using our money, without using our credit. And we made around $21,000 on that deal. I was working about 75 hours a week, barely making $2,000 a month. So that's about $24,000 a year. So I pretty much kind of cleared my entire year's salaries in 2.5 months, not even that, because I was just only calling Tuesdays and Fridays. So that for me was like, okay, if I can do only 2 or 3 of these, I'm good. I don't have to work for anybody else, and I can take care of myself. So that was it. I started doing another one and another one and another one. I mean, so far I've been involved in probably close to 400 closings now. I remember when things changed back in 2011 and we kind of hit the floor down here in South Florida. Now the strategy changed. So now I started listening more to this group about, passive income. Hey, passive income, that's the way to retire. And I got involved with being a landlord. I mean, I love the fact that I was going to do the work once and was going to get paid every single month. And I like that. So I started since, I did a bunch of short sales. I was able to raise some capital out of the profits that we made. And I was able to start buying a little bit of rental properties. So that's what I started doing. Now, mine it cheap, put in a tenant. Most of my tenants now are Section 8 tenants, and that started creating a nice cash flow. I'm actually right now I'm up to a 42 doors that pays me rent right now, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Life is good now. When things were kind of like changing back out, I heard about this strategy with the group called velocity banking. I was like, wow, interesting. Like, velocity banking, this is awesome. And this strategy allows you to pay your mortgages in 5 to 7 years, actually using the bank's money to pay the bank's loans. And when I learned that, I was like, wow, this is interesting. So that's what I started to do. I started paying off my mortgages. And when I did that, I was able to get home equity lines of credit from not only my primary residence, but multiple of my rental properties. So now I didn't have to start, using hard money for any fix and flip or any other strategies. I was actually using my own properties as my banks to finance my deals. So kind of like the deal that I'm going to show you right now, that's what it comes from. I use my lines of credit to buy it. And mind if I share the screen right now, Scott, or you have any
Yeah.
questions?
Hey, no, you know what? You dropped so many golden
Yeah,
nuggets in that. It's like, I'm like, I was
dude.
like, I want to say something. It's like, I don't want to stop him because he's going to drop
I,
another nugget. And so this is what this is what I got just real quick. And it fits the model of what you was kind of going through. First of all, man, your story is awesome, and you push through that, and then you pivot, and you pivot, and you pivot because you learn how to pivot. If you didn't understand how to learn, you weren't able to pivot. But what I captured was your vision must be bigger than your mood swing. Your
Yeah.
vision was big. And so it allowed you to get through those emotional mood swings because you said a couple of times you were working about 70, 80, 90 hours a week. And people don't, I mean, they hear it, but they don't hear it. And there was at any time you could have said, I'm done. This is too much. But your vision was bigger than your mood swing and you pivot. And so I just want to say, man, that's just awesome. So people say, well, how do you become a real estate investor? Right? Or how do you make it through today? Your vision has to be bigger than your mood swing. So I just want to
Definitely.
stop there. What you got there, Scott? Because I know you was
no, it just again, Julian. Obviously, I have heard your story, but every time I hear it, I think of something else. And you know, you reminded all of us today that your family back in Colombia had a good construction business, but obviously there's some real challenges there.
Oh yeah,
You
we had
you
a
had
lot.
all the guerrillas and what was going on there, and just things that a lot of people that live here in the United States who have never been to a different or lived in a different country have never had to deal with. And I mean, what an inspiration to hear that story. And what was it about this community, about the Renatus community? What was it that was like, this is what I need to do? I need to make the decision, which you did, and went all in.
Well, I mean, the education was awesome. I saw everything about the education and what they showed me on the first meeting. On top of that, they give me an opportunity to make money right away with the income opportunity, which I needed. I mean, I was looking for a way to start making money right away. But what kind of like closed me was the group, the people, and I saw a bunch of guys there all the time and willing to help and very nice and very warm. And I mean, everybody was so cool that I say, okay. I mean, I think I can get something, in this group. I mean, I think I can do great. That's what brought me in,
Mhm.
and the community and the fact that there was a lot of people willing to help, and I see that. I mean, that was back in '07 when I joined the community, and that hasn't changed. We have meetings everywhere. We have a meeting here every Thursday in South Florida, and you come in brand new guy, and we treat you like your family. And that's how they treated me when I started. So I mean, that philosophy is what I think what's kept us together all this time, and that's what attracted me in the beginning.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and I know you remember this, but I mentioned earlier on, we've got a national conference coming up at the end of March. March 20th through the 22nd are the actual days of the meetings and trainings. And this will be my 10th national conference to attend. And if you remember, you were one of the first people that I
Yeah,
met as a stranger, as not knowing anybody.
we went to have lunch. Remember?
And we met you and Antonio, and there was a couple other guys with us. I don't know if Andreas was with us, or there was just a few different folks. And you're like, let's go to lunch. And I'll never forget that. Just you guys were so willing to share, information and knowledge with me, because you'd already been doing real estate back in 2015, obviously. And I'll never forget that. So thank you for that lunch, and thank you for that time you spent with me. So, but
Awesome.
you got a deal today you want to share, and
Yeah.
it's always kind of neat to how you came across the deal. How did you discover or find the deal? Were you driving for dollars? Were you looking on Craigslist? Were you on the MLS? Did you use relationships? How did you find this deal?
Well, this deal brings in a bunch of stuff that makes me happy, and is first of all, it was brought to me by a wholesaler, part of the community. She's part of the group, and every time she comes out with a deal, she gives me a call. And the deal was not even listed on the MLS. It was not on the market. But she's very good at, in talking to homeowners and negotiating good numbers. And I was like, okay, awesome. When I went there, this property is located in a very, very nice area. It's one of the best neighborhoods down here in South Florida. Top schools. I mean, everybody is looking for a property in this area, Western Florida. Nice schools, is a gated community. I mean, everybody loved it. And the association, a lot of people are afraid of the associations here, but this association is one of the lowest associations in that area. So that doesn't they don't require any approval from a buyer, which is another plus if you want to buy, rent, or sell. And so it's a quick transaction. I used my lines of credit to purchase this property, and I was able to partner up with one of my students, so somebody that I brought in about a month before we got this property, and he was so scared. I remember he was so scared in doing the investment, and I said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna work with you, and we're gonna make it happen. So he started doing it, started taking the classes, started doing everything that I was telling him to do. And we're able to get involved in this transaction together. So I've been holding his hand since we started until the day of closing, probably. I'm going to share with you a video of what it was before. Let's see if you can. Let me know if you can see that, Scott.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, let's do full screen.
Can you make it larger?
I think that's as large as it goes.
Okay.
You see it?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're on your phone, you can actually pinch out and make it larger. Got it.
Okay. Well, this is a living room, dining room area. This I'm going to show you for step by step to see what we did as well. You see this column right here and this halfway wall.
Mhm.
This kind of separates the kitchen from the living room. And I'm a big open space kind of guy. I don't like enclosures and separate rooms and things like that. I actually like to open up houses and make sure that they look very nice and very open. So this is one of the things that when I came into the house, I saw that I had to do something about that. Obviously, flooring was something that we need to change. This original 12 by 12 tile that we don't use that anymore. This is the master bedroom with an old laminate floor. I knew that I had to replace that. Every single part of the house has a popcorn in the ceiling, so I had to remove that. This is the entrance to the master bathroom. This is the walk-in closet right here. Um, Master bathroom has one of these old bathtubs,
Mhm.
a double sink cabinet. If you see right here, this wall on your right, this is an enclosure for the shower. And they also have another little room for the toilet. You see the walls around. So once I showed the pictures of the after, what I did is what I ended up opening everything. I didn't like to have these different little rooms. So right here we head into the kitchen. This is a living room area still. We're here in Florida have what is called the Florida room, which is like another living room. And this is it. This is the Florida room. And this is the kitchen. The kitchen, I mean, it looks nice. The cabinets were nice and everything, but still, this wall was driving me crazy. And I didn't like to have an enclosed kitchen. So I knew that I had to do something about that. And this is a little pantry right there. Appliances were nice and everything, but I mean, if you want to top dollars, you have to put new and top stuff. So I end up replacing everything. Right here, we have two to the left. We have one of the bedrooms. Right here to the right, another bedroom. And this is the second bathroom. When I saw it, it looked nice though. I actually thought about keeping it the way it was. But then again, if you want top dollars, you have to put top stuff. So um, I removed that vanity. I actually took it to one of my rentals, and this is pretty much what it was. Let me see if I can share the now. Hold on.
So
And
Julian, so that's really awesome because I was listening to you kind of talk. What I'm also hearing is you understood the market. You understood what that area need because you talked about how that was the best area. People want to get to the area, so you kind of already knew your game plan going forward and what it needs or what that community needs to be able to kind of go forward. And that's really awesome because a
yeah,
lot of people don't do that.
no, that's true. And that's one of the things that I learned from this group, guys, is fall in love with numbers, not houses. And it's important to learn how to analyze numbers very well. So you know exactly pretty much how much you're gonna make even before you start the deal. So, and that's what I've been doing. I mean, I think I've not even lost money, but kind of like break even on two houses. After that, I mean, everything has been profits. But yeah, it's important to learn how to analyze it. I saw a couple of classes within the group that taught me how to do that, and that's been like a Bible for me. I don't do anything in the numbers. I don't even go and see the property until I make sure that the numbers make sense.
Yeah,
And this is yeah.
matter of fact, before we go there, I just want before I forget, I just wanted to because you had dropped so many lessons learned nuggets that I think people are picking up because I'm seeing in the chat and saying that's really awesome. What I'm also noticing, if people have a question, you can put it in the chat. But also, there's somebody who invited you to this meeting today, and before we forget, just go ahead and tell them thank you. So if you got an opportunity, just go ahead and tell them thank you that they sent you the link for this meeting right here because what you're about to see is that transformation that he's about to show you because as he was kind of talking about what he was going to do, now you're about to see what he did. It's going to be really transformational, and then there's going to be some questions. So go ahead and put your questions in, and then right after this, there is a meeting that kind of talks about how Julian talked about how he got started, how Scott got started, how I got started, and the community. Just reach out to that person says, "Hey, I want to go to that next meeting, and if you can't make it to today, maybe it's another day. So just still reach out to them so that way you can get plugged in because this thing where he was talking about the education, the community, and how the community supported him, maybe that's what you're looking for to support. So, Julie, I just want to make sure we put that in before we get because you about to show us some good photos and you're going to talk and everybody's going to be like, and then they want to hear the numbers. And so I just want to make sure we got that out before we get. So, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the house, the outside. Um, Let me show you. This is the entrance. We pretty much did remove a bunch of the old bushes and little plants that they have, and we put did a little bit of gardening just to make sure the outside looks good. This is a new living room slash kitchen. Remember about the wall? I removed that wall and created a kitchen that it integrates not only with the living room and dining room, but also with the Florida room. So, I mean, now you see that house and it looks wide open and it looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's nice. That is really, really nice. Hey, Julian, it looks like you got a pop-up on your computer screen from Capital One. Can
Do
you
I?
shut that? Yeah. If you can
Yeah,
shut
hold
that
on.
down, say no thanks.
All right, no thanks.
I thought maybe you had a side gig and you're working for Capital One too.
Man, if they were, you didn't see, probably they were offering money. That was good.
They were saying they want to buy that property from you. That's what it was.
The Capital was like, we want that property. That'd be pretty scary if they came on and they said that right now. Or Zillow popped on. Oh my gosh.
So we created this little island right here. Is an L-shaped island. We have some quartz countertop, brand new wood cabinets, brand new stainless steel appliances. They look pretty nice. Um, my contractor convinced me to do black handlers. First time ever that I do that. I always use like stainless steel handlers, but he convinced me to do it. So everything that we did in the bathrooms and everything was black. And I mean, it seems like people loved it. I mean, when
the last two houses I built, I switched to black as well.
Yeah, the realtors gave us a lot of compliments on this, so it was nice. This is the master one, the master bedroom. We put like a barn door right here. We actually have to modify the wall a little bit just to make sure that the door was fits into the space. The master bedroom goes has a sliding door that goes to the backyard. This is now the master bathroom. You see, I removed that enclosure for the shower and also the wall that was enclosing the toilet. We put a hanging, two sinks, vanity. This is the hot tub, the bathtub that now is in place. Beautiful, beautiful bathtub. So this is the master bathroom now. This is the walk-in closet. It's pretty similar. We just changed the racks. New flooring, new baseboards, new painting, new doors, new lighting fixtures. We remove the popcorn from the ceiling, so that makes it look very nice too. This is the other bedroom.
On the master bathroom, I saw the freestanding tub with the tub filler there. Did I see that you had backlit mirror in that bathroom?
Did I have a what?
A backlit mirror.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
Yeah, it is. This is the laundry area. I used to provide a washer and dryer, not anymore. I prefer I mean, even if they say anything, I just give them credit for it because sometimes the ones that we provide is not the ones that they like. So I prefer to leave that open. This is a two-car garage. So Brian, the good thing about when I got this property, the AC was brand new, the roof was brand new, the water heater was new, electrical panel was up to date. So all the major stuff were already there. So we didn't. All they have to do is just take care of the cosmetics stuff. This is the backyard.
So here's a question for you. There's a couple of questions that popped in the chat. So like somebody was asking about what was a class that that taught you how to analyze deals, and it's called market analysis. So that's one of the classes that's in there. And then there
Correct.
was another question about like funding, and you're going to get to your numbers towards the end. So Daniel, he'll talk about his numbers and the mix repairs and the cost when it comes to that. Again, a lot of people saying, very nice. Um, Somebody asked, like, how long did it take you to renovate the house?
Okay, so that's a good question. We bought this house on November 25th last year. It took us about 2 months to turn it around, and remember it was December, so a lot of the time, many days of the week, contractors were calling in and say, you know what, I want to spend with the family. I mean, I didn't mind, so I say okay, but we could have done it probably in a month and a half, but yeah, it took
Wow.
about 2 months to get it done.
Okay. In your
So
garage,
yeah.
did you was your garage already finished with the drywall, or did you add the drywall and paint? Because sometimes some garages just have the bare walls.
Yeah, no, right here it was in good shape. I mean, what we did is we ended up cleaning because they left a lot of the furnitures and a bunch of stuff hanging on the walls. So we pretty much remove all these old cabinets and make it look very very clean.
Very spacious.
Correct, correct. So we got rid of all the extras and we leave it very clean.
Did you epoxy
So
the floor? It
I'm
looked like
sorry.
it was the floor
Yeah,
looked like it was epoxied. Yeah,
correct, correct. We
garage
did
floor.
that. Yeah, we did that. So yes, I mean, there's many classes that took into that I took in order to get where I'm at. So I mean, obviously, market analysis is one of the major things. It helps you how to analyze trends in the market and run numbers. There's also classes about private money that helps you how to raise capital, so you don't have to use your own. There's classes that talk about hard money as well, that you can learn how to use hard money to leverage on deals. There's an awesome class that talks about self-directed retirement accounts that can help you fund your deals as well. And as a matter of fact, I've been doing a lot of deals lately with friends and family members. They have self-directed retirement. They used to have regular retirement accounts, and I helped them self-direct those retirement accounts so they could start making money with me in real estate. So the good thing about this education in this community is not only helps you become better in many ways, including financially, but also gives you an opportunity to help other people do the same thing. And that's awesome. I loved it. So now family members that didn't have any financial education, any business education, none like that, and probably they just want to stay like that, but they want to grow their retirement account. And I have an opportunity to help them because I have the knowledge, and that's one of the things that brings me a lot of joy when I'm actually in a position that I can help other people do that. So that's pretty much it. Any questions about
No,
the house itself before we
well,
the
that's
numbers?
hope that's huge, and I just want to just pause just for a second because you said something that I think people heard, but they didn't really hear you. And what I mean by that is you took a step forward to do this thing called real estate investing because of something that you needed at that time, yourself, your family, and you says you need to do something different. So I applaud you for that. And because you also continue to do this and you learn, you took action, community, you're giving back, you also help people within your family who's not a real estate investor to help to grow their retirement funding um, because you took something on even though you was thinking about yourself, now you can help others, and that's just say, that's like really awesome. Um,
Yeah.
that's like huge, and I think a lot of people are looking at real estate investing to do something like that, but you actually talked about it and you're actually doing it. And so I just want to say thank you, you know, for that because if it wasn't for you, just think about that. It's almost like the ripple effect. If
Yeah.
you didn't do it, then the other people, your family and everybody who is benefiting from it wouldn't actually see that if you didn't actually step out and says, I'm in. So thank you
Correct.
for giving back and thank you for sharing.
Thank you guys for having me. So let me run the numbers real quick. Okay, you see the spreadsheet, guys?
We see it.
Okay. So my purchase price was 545, but as you can see right here, it says purchase price 505. My friend, the wholesaler, she made an assignment fee of $40,000. So my purchase price actually was 545. That's what, well, we negotiation ended up a little higher, and I negotiated the price down, and I was happy with the 545. And I didn't care how much money she was making, to be honest with you. I keep seeing a bunch of people that they get mad when they see that probably a wholesaler or somebody makes some money in between. I never understood that because I run my numbers on how I make my money. I don't care who makes the money when I purchase it. So, and I was actually happy for her that she was able to make that $40,000 at closing. So in total, it was 548, 200, including insurance. I spent on labor, it was $23,000. And material, it was around $37,000. So it was close to $60,000 to remodel the house. Holding cost was very simple. I didn't use any. I was paying only FP&L, which is the electrical and water, and the association during these 3 4 months. The after repair cost of this property is around 740. We actually started marketing this property at 760, trying to push the market a little bit. But we have a nice offer on the 740, and we decided to take it. So seller's closing cost here is approximately, for the title company, is approximately 2%, which is 14,800. Commission, we pay 5%, and that's 2.5 for the realtor, for the buyer's realtor, and 2.5 for the listing agent. And the listing agent happens to be my wife. So that's another 2.5 in the pocket. And so in total costs, as you can see, 659,849 and some change. If you subtract that from the 740, there's a profit of approximately $80,000 that we're making, plus the 2.5% commission. So I think it's a nice change for 4 months, probably 5 months worth of time.
That's amazing. That is amazing. On your materials and your labor costs, so you didn't have, you said the electrical was updated, so you didn't have to redo any electrical per se, unless you switched out some fixtures and things like that. So your big expenses in this, because you didn't have to do a roof, you mentioned, were they the kitchen, like the kitchen cabinets and appliances, your flooring? What
Correct.
else? What else were the larger
Kitchen
expenses
and
for you?
bathrooms was what pretty much take most of the investment.
Okay.
And the flooring also was a little expensive. This is a 9 millimeters waterproof vinyl, and as you see, if you see it, it looks like wood, and it
Right.
feels like wood because it's very very strong. It's not the 4 millimeters; it's the 9 millimeters. It's very very it's a good quality. So we put a lot into it because we knew that the neighborhood requires it. And if I wanted to have a quick sale, which I think is what we have right now, I needed to put quality stuff. So, I mean, the property's been on the market for about probably a week or so, and we already have a cash buyer interested. I'm going to show you, see if I can show you the contract.
Wow. That's some awesome timing. So you know what? There was another cost in there that was really interesting you talked about, and they're not said it's not really a cost. So you said that there was a vanity that was originally there. You took that a vanity and you actually put it in one of your rentals. So,
Oh yeah,
so
and the appliances too. I took
oh,
the old appliances and I brought it to one of to my rentals. So actually, yeah, they saved me money.
Yeah, I saw a
yeah,
comment by somebody about taking some of the remnants and selling them on Facebook and things like that.
but you just got you said the plants were awesome. I mean, the vanity was awesome. So you just took those and just
Mhm.
replaced, things in your rental and just keep moving.
Yeah,
So that's really awesome.
yeah, that was good. So yeah, this is the contract with the end buyer. This is a $740,000 contract. We have two deposits, one for 25,000, one for 50,000, and the balance is a cash balance of 665. We have an estimated closing of March 7. So yeah, I think we're good to go.
I think so
is
too.
you say it was a cash buyer? So is he, or he or her, or they, are they looking for an appraisal, or not basing the sale on an appraisal?
No, they're not doing any appraisal. They're not doing any survey. The title company is going to do a rush lien search and title search that takes about a week here.
Hmm.
We don't need any association approval. We usually takes about 30 days, so we're good. So we hopefully by the 7th, we're ready to go. And the house is clean. There's no liens, nothing. It's free and clear, so we don't need anything. We're not expecting anything, any issues, but
Right. Did the
yeah.
buyer request an inspection?
Yeah, inspection is
Yeah.
actually tomorrow, on Monday. I'm sorry, on Monday.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be there. I'll be showing and be proud of my place and showing everything.
So one of the things, Julian, as we got just a few minutes left here, and I want to leave time for you to give final remarks. Obviously, the house looks absolutely beautiful. I love how you opened it up. I love the bright colors. Uh, I know, as I guess, white is still popular on kitchen cabinets in your markets.
Yeah, we
Um,
use a lot of white here.
okay,
Or
I
I
figured
do.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the big things that is true in any market, no matter if you're here in the Cincinnati, Ohio market, or you're in Philadelphia, or you're over with Keith in Virginia, or you're down in Florida, you got to know your market, right? You got to know your end buyer. And you mentioned early on that the area this house is in is a very well desired area. So I imagine houses probably don't stay on the market very long unless they were rehabbed really horrible, or someone bought it and didn't bring it up the finishes up and trying to sell it again, make some money and not do anything to it. But you got to know your market, you know. And so like that market, what is that market, that area there? What is your end buyer? Who is that end buyer?
Well, I was surprised. It's actually it's not a family that are buying it. I think it's a corporation that they start buying in that subdivision because of the good thing about the subdivision is that they don't require any HOA approvals for tenants. So down here in South Florida, there's been a lot of companies buying in these areas just to keep them as a long-term rentals, and I think
Mm.
that's what's going on right here. When I did my numbers on it, I did my research on it, I noticed that, first of all, there was not a single one active sale in that subdivision. And it's a big subdivision. There was multiple closed sales, and the days on the market was 7, 10 days, 15 days tops. And they were not even remodeled the way I wanted to be remodeled. So I knew I have something going. And you know, when I did my numbers, about 2 weeks before that, there was one that closed at 720 right next to my house, two houses down. And I saw the remodeling, and it was not even close to what we have. So I knew I had something going when I run the numbers, and I tried to push the market a little bit. During the process, there were some closed sales in the subdivision right next to ours,
Mhm.
and they were around 760, 765. So that's why I pushed it at 760. But when I came to this, cash offer, and they give me more than actually I was expecting at the beginning, I said, you know what, let's move forward. I don't want to keep flipping my money, so that's what I want to do.
Awesome.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, and it's just, a couple questions kind of came in. Like, what set the question was like, what set you apart from other investors? And so I understand the question, but it's kind of like it's a little bit different. But so I'm going to turn it around just a little bit. What what do you believe that makes a difference for you to continue to be that investor that you always wanted to be?
Well, this is what I keep telling the guys who come to the meetings and everything, because here's the thing, and I've been offered all this all the time, and there's always something that shines a little bit more, and there's always an opportunity, and there's always somebody selling something that looks great. And I think the key of my success is being consistent and persistent. And I don't allow anything else other than what that my business is to interrupt my flow, interrupt my model. And I've been offered hundreds and hundreds of businesses and different things. And I say, no, I'm not interested because this is what I'm doing. So probably a lot of the challenges that I see within, the guys that want to get started and everything is that, yeah, they're very motivated at the beginning, but 2, 3 weeks down the road, they're being offered something that smells better or looks better. And that's it, So I tell people, listen, if you keep persistent, if you don't let the Chinese stuff, throw you away from your path, and if you keep pushing, eventually it will happen to you. Tell me, there's this guy that didn't know how to speak English. She's not from this country. Came from a split family. My dad was kidnapped back in Colombia. I had all the excuses to be angry at the world. I didn't have the credit. It was 513 when I started working 75 hours a week, $45,000 in credit card debt, no relationships. My friends were the cooks from Nicaragua and Salvador and Guatemala, and they were happy doing what they were doing, but I didn't have any business friends, any real estate investors friends. I didn't have a lot of the things that most people that are in this meeting and that comes to our meetings, they do have. And I could have used that as an excuse to not make it happen. But instead, I use it as an excuse to make it happen. So I said, you know what? I have to because it's not only me, it's my wife, my daughters, my dad, my mom, everybody depends on me. So I have to take this family up and I make it happen. So if you're persistent and consistent and you fall in love what you do and I know at the beginning it's hard, what I'm gonna say is not do it for the money because that's the thing. At the beginning, you come here because you want to make money, right? But it gets to a point down the business that I'm actually not doing it for the money anymore. I mean, you saw that profit, and it's awesome. But it's more awesome to see that Patricia, the wholesaler, made $40,000, and Alvaro, which is my business partner, is going to make some money out of it. I think he's going to make more than what he invested in this. So, in that's more awesome to me, than the $80,000 profit. So if you can get to that point, I'm telling you, it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier for you.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Thank you, for sharing that. As we're getting close to the top of the hour, and there's more questions about handling labor, doing your first deal, going through your process. You kind of shared a lot of that, and you just shared again that the process and steps that you did. And so what I'm hearing from you, Julian, and hopefully people are really understanding, everybody has a process that they need to go through. And your vision, which I said a little bit earlier, your vision was bigger than your mood swings. And so as long as your vision is bigger than your mood swings, things are going to happen, like you're saying, the shiny object over here and this over here. And you're like, no, I'm going to stay focused. And the results that you showed that you put in the work, you've been consistent, you like to help people. Matter of fact, you started off this meeting saying somebody helped you. And now you're in this meeting saying how you help others. And so what I see, the people who win the most in this game is who can provide the best service, providing the service. And that's what I'm hearing from you is that you're providing a service and you helping others. You're not just thinking about yourself. So I just want to say thank you for doing that. And then, so as we get ready to close, there's probably some other things that you were thinking as you were sharing your story and your journey, because there's some people here, as you know, that's thinking about doing real estate investing. Some people, are fearful, and it is what it is. There's some people who have done some deals, but they want to take the game to the next level. What are some of the things you want to share with them before we transition off for today? Because this has been a very powerful, and you got some other things that you got to work on today. So we don't want to type all your time. What is it that you want to share with them before we close for today?
Well, I mean, what can I tell about that, man? This business has been a blessing to me. It's been a life-changing event for me and my family. I mean, if you really, really like your time freedom, financial freedom, this is the vehicle for you. I mean, I found this vehicle back when I started, and it was difficult for me. As a matter of fact, when I started and I had to borrow my sister's credit to actually get involved in all this, I had the option to validate my civil engineer career instead of doing this. And me, a Colombian guy, and the Spanish people here understand the tradition, and Colombians are very, the diploma and the status and all that stuff. And my mom, everybody was, renew your career, do your career here, and there's the money. And I said, no, that's not what I want. I saw it like another way to being an employee, and that's not what I wanted. So I ended up doing investing in myself and took the classes, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I mean, you saw that the process. We closed on November 25th. We're closing probably in about a week. The sale. And out of that, I have gone like 4 times to the house. And most of the times I've been traveling. I've been running the business from out of the country. And that's the beauty of this business. It gives you the flexibility, the financial freedom. You can run it from anywhere you want. And if that's what you're looking for, this is it. This is it. So I'm here to help. If you guys are in South Florida, or even if you're not and you need any assistance, just make sure that you contact Scott and Keith and tell them to give you my number. I'm here to help. You're mute, Scott.
You muted, Scott.
Sorry about that, guys. Again, thank you, Julian. We appreciate your time today. It was so good seeing you and hearing more about where you are in your journey. You mentioned short sales earlier. I saw your buddy and partner Antonio Lobo made a comment in the chat room that short sales are coming back, and they are in this market as well. So I love all the different strategies that we learn in our community, and it allows. I like Keith's word, pivot. It allows us to pivot when that strategy is best used during that time. And I do think short sales are coming back. I know you're very knowledgeable about that, and you did a lot. You and Antonio did a ton of short sale deals. So you're going to help a lot of other folks in that area down there do their short sale deals, which is awesome.
Sure.
It's
back
awesome.
in the day when we started, Antonio and I, we were partnering, and I think we had about 180 files, short sale files that we were working on. That was driving us crazy. We actually have to get some help because that was tough.
I was going to say 108. Did you get any sleep back then? That's a lot.
That was a lot of faxing back in the day. Faxing.
Oh my gosh. Well, again, Julian, thank you for everybody on today. We will be back next Saturday, same time. We've got another great property tour. We'll be coming to you from the great state of Minnesota. And so look forward to seeing everybody then. For now, have a blessed weekend. Keith, thank you as always. And Julian, look forward to seeing you soon. Okay.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.